Hello and welcome to the Jackson Times podcast. I am your host, Rachel.
I'm Tina.
I'm Gabby.
And we're here with a very special guest today. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Hello, my name is Makenna and I am in grade 11. Some things that I like to do in my free time are playing guitar, reading books, and reading the Jackson Times. I have 3 family members, and my mom's credit card number is something that I do not know. If I had one day left to live, I would spend that day doing stuff with my team.
Oh,
Yeah.
not with your family?
Oh, well, them too. My team and my family. We'll just shove them all
Also, they're
together.
the same. They're
Well,
one and the same.
Yeah, my team is one
Related
of my
to you?
family. No, my team is my family. They're like my family,
Your
you know?
family gave birth to like all at the same
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
At the same time.
Well, different months, you know? Like throughout. Sorry. I'm very excited to be here today to talk about sports and stuff.
music.
And music. Yeah. Very excited.
Okay.
So McKenna, what do you do? What sports do you do? First of all, I forgot how to. I'm just gonna ask.
So I play volleyball very competitively outside of school.
Very competitive.
Very competitively, yes.
Maybe we should have gotten Kyle Zhang on this podcast.
Hey man, I'm not bad at this.
What does that mean?
No, he's good at volleyball.
No, we'll
He
get them
plays badminton now.
We'll get him on the next one, and then we'll make everybody vote on which one's better.
Oh man.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Oh, do you have any? Okay, wait. Do you have any other hobbies that you like to do?
Any other hobbies? Yes.
What are your other hobbies?
Yeah, so I play guitar outside of school. Well, and in school, I guess. Because I'm in the guitar class. But I play guitar and I like reading and writing and drawing and dogs. That's a hobby.
I like dogs too. I eat them for
Like-
lunch.
Yeah, no, I don't eat my dog. I pet her.
Are you like a furry?
No.
Not again.
Not again.
Not the furry tongue.
Are you Diva's target demographic for furry car? Sorry.
Okay. So, McKenna, how have you been able to keep up with your schoolwork on top of your volleyball practice and on top of playing guitar?
Yeah, it's not bad. You know, I think I've been doing a pretty good job at it. I've been able to stay on top of all my work and assignments. I think what works best for me is to just kind of talk to the teachers at the beginning of the semester, send them an email and just be like, hey, so I play volleyball and sometimes I can't do assignments, so I'll let you know in advance if I can. And then it usually works because then they're like, okay, sure. So yeah, I find the only time I've struggled is when we're at away tournaments for a very long time, because you're with your team and you don't really want to do work, so then you get back and you're like, oh, I should have done this stuff, but then you didn't. So I find that's the only times that I've struggled. So
Fun fact for our listeners, we were going to record this on Thursday, but McKenna was going to be away for a game.
Yeah, for a
So
game. Talk
we had
about
to
that.
reschedule.
yeah, well, not really for a game. I mean, I might be practicing with a college team in Vancouver, but I'm also just taking the opportunity to visit my family while we're there. So yeah.
Vancouver.
Vancouver.
That's so pro. I don't know. I don't really see any sports things happening
I mean,
here.
we're also going to Italy, so that's
What?
pretty cool.
Like the same week? Like,
No, not the same week. No, in next end of March of this coming year, whatever year it is, we're going to Italy for a World Cup volleyball competition.
Wow.
So we're get to play internationally, I think. Yeah.
Against people your own age.
Yeah, so it's like a 17U tournament, so different teams from different countries kind of enter, and then you just, there's teams from states and other places far away, Italy of course, and then other teams that will be there from different countries, so it'll be pretty cool to do that.
Wow. We're talking to a D1 athlete, guys.
I don't know what that means.
That's college
You're
level, right?
Yeah, no, that's the highest.
That's the high
university, college.
You
level.
guys are
Just
incredible.
saying random combinations of letters. and
D1? I don't really know what that even
Something
means.
tells me
but
we
I
should have
do.
gotten a host that actually plays sports.
Probably.
Oh, none of us play sports.
Hey, ultimate
Actually,
frisbee
I'll-
is a sport. Ultimate frisbee is a sport.
Ultimate frisbee is a
One
sport.
could argue.
One could.
Okay.
Okay. Watch Mr. Chu listen to this and be like, excuse me? It's not a sport. What?
Well, what do
You
you
can
want to
continue
say
asking
about ultimate frisbee, huh?
Okay, what's your favorite part of playing volleyball?
I don't know. I mean, it's all pretty fun. I like playing with my teammates. I have really good teammates, so just being able to kind of be with them and play with them is super fun. But I don't know. I like jumping around a lot. It's pretty fun. So
Have you ever, is like volleyball like your only sport that you?
no, I used to play a lot of sports. I slowly cut them all out to play volleyball because I didn't have time or energy. So I used to do like pre-competitive swimming. I did karate for like 6 years. I had my black belt. Before that, just at school, I was in like track and field. I did shot put and relay for a bit. I did cross country, basketball, softball, board and ball, and something else that I don't remember now.
Golf.
I didn't play golf, no, as much as my father wanted me to. He actually suggested that I join the golf team here at AY, and I didn't
How
know
well is
how
that
to do that.
going?
I mean, considering
I
we're both-
haven't heard anything.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, to be fair, I haven't heard anything from like most of the sports at AY, so
Yeah.
How did you narrow down to volleyball? Like, why did you want to continue compared to the other sports?
I think I enjoyed it more, and I think I was better at it than the other sports. Like, I was okay at it. If I continued them, I'm sure that I could have been successful in them as well. But I think I just enjoyed it more, and overall, it was just a better and easier kind of option for me to continue. So,
what position do you play?
I am a middle blocker.
Oh.
I am one of the shortest people on my team.
Oh.
I am one of the shortest middles in our division, but
Is there going to be a
What?
volleyball team here now?
There
The
is-
boys just
yes.
finished.
So
they
the girls?
did tryouts this past Monday. They just narrowed down the list.
Did
So-
you get in?
Did you get it?
Oh my
You're
but
too good.
You graduated.
no, I don't know. I felt like I could have helped them more, and I didn't want to risk injury. I also practice like 5 to 7 days a week, so I don't always have the physical energy to play as well 3 times a week at school. Because
So balancing that.
balancing
Right.
exactly.
So you were in the team last year.
I was on the team last year. Yes.
How did you feel about the girls volleyball season at AWA?
Yeah, it was alright. I mean, we didn't do the best. We made it to the playoffs. I think we got knocked out in the quarters. We got knocked out in the quarters. I think it was pretty fun. I think that we had a nice team dynamic. I mean, the skills weren't always there, but it was it was a good experience. You know, no.
Not the
'cause-
backlash.
Nah, I mean, there were some really close games. There were some really good games. I think the team that we ended up playing in the quarters ended up being mostly rep players. And we were missing a couple players and our coach wasn't there. So me and the assistant coach kind of had to step in and figure out lineups on the spots. We had to change around rotations a lot and change around positions. But I think that kind of just showed how versatile the players were. So it was a pretty good season, all things considering.
Oh, what's your opinion on like school spirit when it comes to like watching volleyball games or sports games as a whole?
I think I was watching the boys semifinal the other day. I didn't watch all of it because I had practice, but from what I saw, like there were people there. They were all like cheering. And they were all pretty excited. I don't know how much of the volleyball they actually understood, but you know they were there and they were kind of speaking up, like cheering for our team and stuff. I mean, sometimes it can get a little like heckly almost towards the other team, but you know they were cheering really loud when our team scored points and stuff, even if they didn't fully understand what was going on. So I think it was pretty good. I know it's not always nearly as good for the girls volleyball, but I think for the guys it was pretty good, and I'm hoping that it'll continue to be good when the girls
So
like
should
2
we
years.
segue to like guitar? Should we?
That's a very nice segue.
A smooth segue. I said the word, so it's smooth already. McKenna,
Yeah.
why did you start playing guitar?
When we were younger, me and my brother, our parents told us that we had to choose an instrument to. Our parents told us that we each had to choose an instrument to play, and I don't remember why, but I was just like, I want to play guitar. So they're like, okay, and then at one point, our neighbors had like a garage sale, and they were selling these two guitars for like $15 for both of them.
Oh wow.
Or something. It might have been 60. I don't remember. But so we bought them both for really cheap, and so I started playing guitar. Then we were gonna get lessons, and then of course my brother was like, "Oh, guitar!" So he started too. And then when we finally got lessons, our guitar teacher liked him better, so he got better, and I didn't. But because my brother originally wanted to play piano, and we had a piano. It was a lot out of tune, but we still had the piano, and then he changed to guitar. So now we both play guitar.
Cool.
Are you acoustic or electric?
I do mostly acoustic. I actually do like equal amounts of acoustic and bass, I think. My brother does more electric. I do a little bit more like the finger style stuff on electric, not like as many like solos and stuff,
Have you named your guitar? I have a name for my guitar.
Oh,
you
your
play
guitar's
guitar?
I play guitar too, but like not
professionally.
definitely not as good as McKenna. Like I've had a guitar, and I've occasionally dabbled in a bit. But have you named your guitar?
I have not named my guitar.
You should name.
I
your
have
guitar.
many guitars. I don't have names for
I have
any
like a
of them.
theme for all three of my guitars.
All of them. What are your guitars' names?
Okay, my electric is Victoria.
Okay.
My acoustic
Okay.
is Elizabeth,
All right.
and my new acoustic is Diana. So you
Are
can
they named after like?
Yeah,
Princess
yeah,
Princess?
exactly. So you
Okay.
can see the theme.
Do you
I-
want name suggestions for your guitar?
Yeah, I
I mean, I'm open to suggestions. I can't promise that I'll actually name them, but I'm open to suggestions.
I don't
Where you
know.
suggest names.
I don't know, man. My cats are named after obscure flowers, so I didn't name them.
I had name suggestions for Abigail's crabs, but she
Oh.
didn't take any of them.
Yeah.
One of them was like horse to oovers, like
Okay.
the-
Yeah,
yeah, that was one.
Whore's the or?
Where's the or?
Isn't
I
it
don't know. I don't.
or divorce?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
something
what
like
it
that.
was.
Or divorce.
Divorce?
Okay,
Okay, anyways.
and that's a name maybe for your
Damn
guitar.
it, I forgot to ask this one question.
Okay, just ask it now.
Are you interested in a career as a volley? Okay, wait.
Are you interested in either doing volleyball professionally or guitar professionally?
I would definitely do volleyball professionally over guitar professionally. If I continue with guitar, it would just be like for fun. Volleyball, I definitely want to play in university. Like I've already started talking to coaches and stuff to kind of try to set that up for me. It's kind of, we'll see where it goes after that, if I decide to get a job right away or if I decide to continue with volleyball before I start working full time.
So are you like basically on the path? You're basically on the path to become like a professional.
Yeah, essentially. I mean, like I've done a lot of the Team Ontario programs, which do help kind of with exposure to international things. So like I've been on Team Ontario Red. We played in the Canada Cup this past summer against other provinces. I played on Team Ontario Beach, and then I've been involved with like some training camps for the Canada Games in 2025, and then this tournament in Italy. That one is also, there's apparently a lot of coaches, like international coaches, they're looking and recruiting for after university or even during university. So
Can't wait to see you in the Olympics.
Yeah.
Then.
I'm like, I know them. Yeah, I
This is
know.
like
Hopefully.
your first interview as a professional
Yeah,
volleyball
yeah.
player.
Oh, we have that.
This is-
We have those rights,
yeah,
right?
you will
Like,
forever
like-
be the first people to interview me.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
We should that's gonna be our new Jackson.
Yeah,
Time.
I'll get you guys a plaque.
Our alumni of like people we podcast.
Yeah.
Jackson Times podcast alumni.
Ooh.
Oh god. Okay, do you have something?
Oh, I was was just gonna say, like, you're like, oh, you know, I might go professionally, but I don't know if I can go professionally. And then you're like, oh yeah,
Well,
I'm
I
gonna go
bet-
to Italy. I've done
Well,
all
I
of
don't
this.
know,
I
I
do
mean,
training
like-
camps.
That's
Yeah,
like,
I
really,
mean-
like amazing. Like you have a lot of
Yeah.
things stacked on top.
I mean, the thing is, it's kind of funny because I switched teams this past year, not like the 2023-24 season, the season before that. So like whatever last season was. So my 16 season, which was last year, I switched teams to a team called Reach Harmony. And because I had problems with the previous coach, and so I decided to switch teams. And we ended up winning both provincials and nationals. Which it's kind of weird because before, like last year, 2 years ago when I was in 15U, I'd applied for Team Ontario and I didn't make it. And it's just kind of cool to see that I switched teams and then I started making all these other teams and I started being able to do more. So it kind of like, I don't know, it's kind of cool to think that if I didn't switch teams that I might not have been able to do that, you know?
The universe gives you.
There you go.
These
Yeah, see? It's the
wonderful.
universe.
No, come on, Rachel.
I don't think the 70% of my math test is the universe this time.
The universe. Well, okay, for Makenna.
Yeah,
The universe
yeah.
is giving you
You know,
signs.
so sometimes change is good, and I am strongly against change, but sometimes it can make you a really good volleyball player. So, you know.
Okay. What do you say would be your favorite part about playing volleyball? We're still on the
Didn't you answer
volleyball
this
train.
one?
I'm sorry.
Did
Did
you
you answer this one? Okay, you can
A
ignore
little
that.
bit.
You're,
Well, what's your favorite part about playing guitar?
yeah.
I don't know. The music part? I don't know.
Do you have any favorite music artists that you love to play from?
That I like to play from?
The Eagles.
I tried to learn Hotel California, but the place that I use for the tabs changed it.
Is it a guitar tab? Too?
No, it's Songster.
Oh, okay.
But they took away, so now instead of having the capo on the 7th fret, they want you to bar the 7th fret the entire time, and I'm not doing that, so I just gave up on learning Hotel California for now. So when they fix the tab, then I'll go back and I'll learn it.
So you're not gonna like
Figure it out.
yeah figure out the new one.
I might. We'll see. Maybe I'll just look up one of the tutorials on YouTube.
Yeah.
YouTube guitarists.
Oh yeah, but do you have a favorite musician?
Oh,
Yeah.
right,
This one on the
sorry.
Eagles, right.
I don't think so. I mean, my music taste is very all over the place. Like, I have a playlist that's literally just called Just Music because there is no genre, whatever. Like, it's just the songs that I like just shoved into one playlist. So, no matter what mood I'm in, I could listen to any kind of music because that's just whatever comes on. So, just whatever song I like, it goes into one big playlist, and I just listen to that
So you're
most
like
of
an
the time.
all genre.
Yeah. Like, I wouldn't say that I have a specific genre of music taste. I would just say it's whatever songs I like. Yeah.
On that track, do you have a least favorite musician?
Country.
Yeah, actually, maybe. Actually, country isn't horrible. There
Do you
are
play
some... No, I don't. There are some country songs, I can't name any, but that haven't been horrible. But, you know, I'd say either country or classical.
Oh.
I don't particularly like to go and listen to. Like, classical is fun to play, like, acoustic fingerstyle versions of it, but I wouldn't go and just listen to it on the radio.
You have to be a special man of friendships. I want to listen to classical music.
I know like 5 people off the top of my head who would like
No, I
want
do.
to strangle you for that.
I do too.
Oh, do you watch volleyball?
I do watch volleyball, actually. I don't watch as much indoor because it's harder to find because there's not really, like, set tournaments that you can go unless they're, like, Olympic qualifying tournaments, but Canada isn't often in those. I do watch a lot of beach volleyball. There's these, because the Canadian teams are quite good, one of them especially. So I do watch a lot of beach volleyball. I find that I can learn a lot from watching it. So I try to watch when I can. But I definitely do prefer watching I definitely prefer watching women's volleyball over men's volleyball, just because the two games are like completely different. Because the guys just try to hit it super hard, and I'm physically unable to do that. So I find that I can actually learn stuff from watching the women as opposed to the men.
So you would say like women's volleyball is more technical as opposed to like power oriented?
Yeah, I mean, men's volleyball is definitely tactical as well and technical. But I'd say that just because women physically aren't able to hit the ball that hard, like we can of course whack it pretty hard, but you know, we can't really bounce it the same way. So I think there's definitely more aspects of choosing different spots and different shots that you want to hit as opposed to just whacking the ball straight down as much as you can. So, yeah. Are you choking?
Are you okay?
I'm fine. I'm dandy.
You're dandy.
Yeah, I'm very dandy.
Yeah.
I forgot this. Oh, right. The team you mentioned earlier. Can you tell us a little bit more about them? Who they
My
are?
rep team?
The team that you watched that was.
The beach volleyball team. Yeah. So their names are Melissa Humana Paredes and Brandy Wilkerson. They're a Canadian beach volleyball team who recently did pretty good at the World Championships. I don't remember how they finished, which is kind of bad, but you know, they did pretty well, and I actually got to watch them play live,
Wow.
which was super cool. With Timo Beach, they took us to Montreal, and we got to watch the Elite 16, and they were playing in that. We almost watched them win gold, but we had to leave, so we watched them win the match that let them get into the match to win gold. So we watched them in the semifinals, and it was just really cool to see them play live because you could kind of like just see the dynamic and everything. So it was so much better than watching on TV. And it was nice because they had a home crowd too, because they're a Canadian team in Canada, so everyone was cheering for them. So that was super cool. Unfortunately, I didn't get to meet them because they had to catch shuttles and stuff, even though like the coach for Team Ontario Beach, she had coached both of them. So she like just casually has these Olympians' phone numbers in her phone, and it's just like, hey, you want to meet up with us? And she's like, oh, I can't. We have to go catch a train. And I'm like, oh. So we didn't get to meet them, but we got to watch them play live, and I think that was a pretty cool experience. I still have the tickets, like, on the cork board in my room.
Oh.
So it was a pretty cool experience to be able to watch them live. If you can watch live volleyball, I would highly recommend it. It's pretty cool.
I will try.
Just wait till the girls' volleyball team has their.
Yeah,
game
I
here.
mean, yeah.
Come and cheer them on instead of doing whatever you sticky step. I don't know what you're talking
If
about.
only Athletic Council would announce when people had games.
Yeah, they put on the announcements, but they don't always. They announce it like 2 weeks ahead of time.
And
Actually, it
then-
might be on the Instagram. It's on the Instagram.
Maybe
You
I
should
follow.
follow AYJ Athletics on Instagram.
We're not
And
the,
AYJ Music or whatever the Instagram
we're not the
is
shill
called.
part of the podcast today. Yeah. I keep forgetting beach is 2 people.
Yeah, beach is 2 people, but it's okay because the court's smaller. It's a meter smaller each way. So beach is 8 by 8 meters and indoor is 9 by 9 meters because you have 6 people, so there's more area to cover.
I don't know if 1 meter is enough for an extra for losing like
well,
4
I
people.
don't know. But that's where like beach and indoor are 2 completely different
sports,
games.
yeah.
Like it's tough. Like I was having to go back and forth between beach and indoor this past summer. Like it was pretty much like 2 practices I would be beach and then I would switch. The next 2 practices were in indoor. So I had a really hard time at the beginning of the summer playing both because I was in both modes at the same time. So it was really hard to adjust to that just because like on sand, like you can't move as fast, you can't jump as high. And like there are different rules too. Like there's stuff you're not allowed to do.
Really?
So yeah, you're not allowed to like hand pass. You're not allowed to. There's there's a whole bunch of random little things that are very different from indoors. So it's sometimes hard going back and forth. But I found at the end of the summer, after it was more like big chunks of time, like weeks or months. I guess no months because there's only 2 months in summer. But I guess weeks at a time, and you go back and forth, it becomes a lot easier. But beach, I found, definitely does help training for indoor because you get used to moving on sand, and then when you go back to indoor, you just go so much faster. Like I remember my first year playing beach, I had like a tournament and then I had like an indoor tryout the same day. So I like went straight from beach and I was like overrunning the ball because I didn't expect to move that fast. It was really funny. But yeah.
Okay. I have a question about beach volleyball.
Okay.
Do they regulate the sand?
Unfortunately not.
Oh.
It's kind of just, well, not in youth. Like in the OVA, the Ontario Volleyball Association, like the tournaments that they host, you just go and play at the venue. If it's super hot, you just put on sand socks if your feet are burning.
Oh.
If it's super cold, then deal with it.
it.
I know in the Olympics and stuff, they do have like temperature regulated sand. They have like heaters or coolers under the sand or something, so they
So
can
silly.
control so that if it's super hot out, the sand isn't burning hot, so they don't need socks. And if it's super cold, it won't be freezing, so that they can actually do stuff. But unfortunately, I'm not at the level where we have that luxury yet. So maybe someday, but not at this age.
Also, is beach volleyball primarily played on wet sand or dry sand?
Mostly dry sand, unless it's raining or very cold, in which case it is wet and gross, and if you do not whack the ball hard enough before you serve, it hurts like hell because the sand is digging into your arms, and it's cold, and it's wet, and it is not fun. And the ball becomes really heavy, so serving is like a free-for-all where you're just trying to whack it as hard as you can so that it actually goes over. So most of the time dry, unless it's raining, in which case wet, and then you get a whole other bunch of problems with that as well.
Okay, and then last question about the sand. Like, what if you, like, hypothetically speaking, you put like a plastic fork in the sand?
Tina!
I mean, you switch sides every 7 points.
Oh.
So when 7 points have passed, you switch sides. So if they haven't found the fork by that point, then you may want to move it. So it's very unsportsmanlike. I mean, technically you could if you really wanted to go out for blood, quite literally. But generally people are more sportsmanlike, so you don't do that. I mean, like, we play down at Aftridges a lot, so there is stuff in the sand. Like, you'll find, like, bottle caps and cigarettes, like, on the court because there are just random people at the beach all the time.
Yeah.
But generally, you just, like, if you find it between a serve, you're just like, hold on, and then you raise a hand and tell them to stop serving, and you move it so that you don't die, and then you go and continue playing. So there are obstructions, not usually put in place purposely by athletes, but they are there.
Okay. Like,
Hypothetically.
What if you, like, put a lot of wet sand on a ball and then you served it and the sand flew into the eyes of the
It would get in
It would get in your eyes first. I speak from firsthand experience because I didn't hit the ball hard enough and I didn't clean it off enough. And I served and I got blinded and I ran onto the court and I couldn't see and I was like blinking rapidly to try to be able to see in the middle of the play. So generally, unless you underhand serve, then you might. But generally, it gets in your eyes first, or the eyes of your partner, because it's flying over their head and they're like watching it. But
Okay.
But getting sand in your eyes and mouth is not a fun experience. I speak from experience as well as that. But yeah,
Tina, you sound like you would be a
Good to know.
terrible sports player.
I agree.
Like, I know you play ultimate volley. Are you putting dirt on the frisbee or something?
No, she's putting like swords on the frisbee. Like at this point, she's putting like razor blades.
No.
She's one of the people who puts the razor blade in the Halloween candy.
You heard it here first, folks. Come to my house on Halloween.
I have a funny story about that, but I don't think it'll look good in my paper, so I'll just...
All right.
Okay,
thank you for listening to the Jackson Times podcast, episode 2, featuring Makenna. Thank you, Makenna, for coming on our show. And if you have any recommendations, if you want to be on the podcast, leave a comment. Should I say like and subscribe? Shoot us a DM. Maybe we'll have you on. If you comment, Tina will read every single one of them and memorize them by heart, and she will recite them at the beginning of the podcast. No guarantees.
no guarantees.
Thank you for listening. Have a good evening, y'all.
You better leave that ending y'all in.
Yeah, you better.